Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to an episode of Rants About Tech Live, number 198. We're moving on up there. We are moving on up there. I'm your host, Rod, here in cloudy Philadelphia on this Monday, November 3rd. I'm here with some of my great friends in the chat. The chat crew is in here. Let's get the air horns going for the chat crew. Oh, early. I appreciate you guys. Where is it at? There we go. Get the air horn going for you guys. Today's going to be a good show. We got more Note Air 5C reviews in. So we got more concrete information on this beast that is the Note Air 5C. We got the Viwoods. Oh, you can't even see it. It's so cloudy. My camera has to bump up the ISO. It's washing everything out. All right, here we go. Bam. All right. Oh, this camera is washing everything out here too. When it's cloudy out, I could use help when it's cloudy out. Not all the time, just when it's cloudy out. So I'm zooming a little bit. There we go. All right, we got the Viwoods C1 right here. It says W2 right here. This Viwoods, get it together, bro. Get it together. We're going to talk about this thing right here. I got my impressions on this, so that's going to be interesting. Thank you guys for being here. Who we got here? We got The Rock. We got Sheik. I appreciate you guys for being here. We got Aaron, as always. We got BM. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning to you. And as always, Alex. Good morning to you, sir. Let's pop the top off the coffee mug. Salute. Sacred Bean Water. We got it going today. What do we got going in the chat here before we get going on the randos and the holidays? Actually, let's do the holidays first. We'll do the holidays. Today is going to be Culture Day. It's Culture Day in Japan, everybody. Where you at, CJ? Big up to CJ. CJ's in Japan. Culture Day. I don't know what that consists of. I have to do me a little bit of research, but listen, I love a good Culture Day. Okay. I love a good Culture Day. National Sandwich Day. I also love a good sandwich. Listen, it's my opinion. Things that you can eat with your hands, I'm good with. I love that. I like if I can grab it, hold it, throw it in a bag or something. Listen, hand foods are great. Sandwiches are probably the best hand foods on the planet. Sandwiches are a complete meal if you do them right. Hold on, am I good? Oh, we're good. Sandwiches are a good meal if you do them right. You just got to do them right. Cheese, a protein. You got your protein, you got your dairy, you got your veggies. You throw some lettuce on there. If you're like me, you're throwing spinach on there or Napa cabbage. Napa cabbage has a little more nutrient value to you. You know what I'm saying? Than that lettuce. That's just water. Okay, it's green water. That's what it is. Then you throw you pickle. Okay, you got just some tomato. Throw some onion on there. Okay, listen, I do the sandwiches up. Okay, I do the sandwiches up. So, National Sandwich Day. What else we got here for holidays? Oh, what happened? Chat, did I just get rid of my? Oh, chat, I got rid of my. Oh, there we go. All right. Next thing we got here is Cliche Day. Can somebody give me a good cliche in the chat? You know of a good cliche? I want to hear it. Throw it in the chat. Okay, we got cliches going on. I want to hear your best cliche in the chat, you guys. All right, let's go ahead and go to who we got here in the chat room. Let's read through the chat real quick. We were talking about the Dodgers. We're talking about the Dodgers for a second here. That's in my rando stuff, so big up to you guys recognizing the World Series. Did 2 back-to-back shots yesterday to help a roaster friend figure a blend. Oh, you guys talking about coffee? Okay, I should have known. I do the instant. I don't even bother. What was the coffee today? Okay, she's talking about the coffee. So we're talking about coffee in the chat. Let's go on to the randos, shall we? Rando information. Why is everybody using Bespoke? I've been hearing the word Bespoke being spoken a lot. I never used to hear that word. Never. Did I just get rid of that again? I never used to hear that word. Why is Bespoke being used all of the time? Why is it being spoken all the time now? Everybody's bespoke. Everything is bespoke. All right. Could this bespoke pen improve my handwriting? This bespoke feature on this tablet. Oh, I got bespoke bespoke weapons on my ship. I do. I got bespoke weapons on my ship in Star Citizen, okay? I'm. That was the first time I ever heard the word bespoke is when I started playing Star Citizen like a decade ago. Now it's everywhere. I never used to hear it. Anyway, we're moving on. LA beat Toronto, a.k.a. US beat Canada. Listen, I was about to say I have nothing against Canada. I have something against Drake. Nothing against Canada, though, specifically. But listen, for the sake of the Drake-Kendrick battle, it's USA versus Canada, okay? That's what it was this weekend with the World Series. And guess what? USA won. Just like we did in the rap battle. We killed, okay? We dominated. We didn't dominate. It was actually probably the best World Series in World Series history, to be honest with you. Very good game. Two closely matched teams battling it out. Extra innings. Did it go extra innings? I think it did. Yeah, it did. Very good Game 7 in the World Series. So congratulations to the LA Dodgers. Buffalo beat the Chiefs. That doesn't move anybody except me. Okay, I get it. I understand. But I did watch that game at a spot called the Urban Sports Bar. And if you're ever in Philadelphia, it's a pretty good spot to watch some sports and get some good food. The food was good. The atmosphere was good. The drinks were good. They offer Fiddlehead, my favorite IPA. Like, come on. You can't beat that. So if you're ever in Philly, it was a good time. I went there yesterday. Check it out. Urban Sports Bar. Why they call it the Urban Sports Bar? It's not urban at all. It's probably, and it's not even in an urban area. It's probably an art museum. What are we doing? Urban Sports Bar. But it was good, though. It's good. One last thing, random information here before we get to the tech news, which we don't have a lot, but we do got a lot of eInk news to get to. Basketball games. I'm not sure if you guys ever seen a pickup basketball game, but I was watching some shorts the other day I might have been on Instagram. It could have been TikTok. Who knows these days? They all blend in. But this young lady was talking about her husband going out and playing a game of pickup basketball. And she was befuddled. She was flapped even by the fact that a group of guys just get together. They don't have to talk about what's going to happen. There's nothing to be decided other than the teams. There's no bickering or there's nothing to really argue about. Dudes get together at a pickup basketball game. Women too. Women play pickup basketball games, but people get together and pick up basketball games, and there's nothing to talk about other than basketball. Like, there's no fighting. There's no bickering about who's on whose team. When the losing team loses, they just get off the court. Or another team's waiting in the wing. Or the person who was the team captain has already got people he's picking to come and play. Like, there's no friction. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. There's no friction in pickup basketball. If there is, it's usually over something that's not basketball related at all. Like, you saw your op at the basketball court, so you decided to make it a thing, but it had nothing to do with basketball. I thought that was interesting. I thought that was super interesting that that's one thing that people do, and there's never a problem doing it. We don't need to talk about it. You're almost born learning to know what to do in a pickup basketball game. That's just me. That's me. What do we got here in the chat? There's always next year. Bespoke is the new luxury trend. Oh my goodness. It's just, I'm just so bad at it. Dr. Lang, how's it going? Welcome to the show. I envy the lack of chit chat when men get together. Yeah. You know what though? Very good point, Sheen. Very good point. But I thought that was very interesting. One of the things that a group of people can get together and do, that no one has a problem. You know, there's nothing very rare in today's world where you get a group of people together and everyone's agreeing on what's going to happen next. Pick up basketball game, everyone knows what's going to happen next. It's awesome. All right, anyway, moving on. Here we go. Tech news rather. All right, so we'll get that cleaned up. The transition, I gotta have it transparent. I say it every show. We're getting on it. Lack of chit chat. Yeah, I thought that was funny too. But anyway, moving on to the tech news we got here. So we got Amazon robot takeover is the first thing we're going to talk about here. Now, this is basically a conversation piece. Where are we at? This is basically what in the heck is that? This is basically a conversation piece, and I'm on the wrong thing. Oh, boy. All right, here we go. Now, we talked about Amazon recently releasing like 14,000 people, right? And everyone's like, oh, you know, it was AI. You know, they laying off people because of AI. And that may or may not be true. I personally don't think that was the case. But then I have a whole different take on AI and jobs than most people do. You guys let me know how you feel about this in the comments here and in the chat. But for me, just telling you my opinion on this, if a company wants to fire everybody in their company, if the CEO says, I hire 12,000 people, I'm firing everybody and I'm just going to do all the work myself, can we really be mad at that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been trying to wrap my head around why everyone's upset about jobs in the tech sector being lost because of AI. We went through this in the industrial age. When factories came up and was automating like the factory lines, we went through the same thing then. It ended up okay. The world didn't end. We're still here. People still have jobs. Just in other sectors, right? I don't know. I'm always interested in how people feel about job losses in an industry. It never seems to be a thing to me. And I'm just wondering how you guys feel about it. You guys let me know your comments on that. But continuing the conversation where they laid off 14,000 workers, the New York Times gained internal memos from Amazon talking about their roadmap, you know, for the next 10 years or so, right? And one of those things they brought up on that roadmap was replacing 600,000 workers with robots. Now, this title is a little misleading, okay? The title is a little misleading. They're not replacing 600,000 workers. They don't even have those 600,000 workers right now. What's happening is Amazon wants to, let me look at my notes here. Amazon wants to, they basically want to automate 75% of their operations, right? In order to automate 75% of your operations, you have to either A, fire people, or B, not hire any more people, right? Now, the interesting thing about this is that Amazon's not going to lay off 600,000 people. What they're doing is saying, we're trying to automate our operations. And in order to do that, we're just going to make it so we can continuously grow without having to hire new people. So what does that mean? It means they're keeping everyone they have now, but because of the nature of expansion, right? When you expand, and I think here they talk about with the goal of selling twice as many products as it currently sells in 2020 by 2033. So you know how many we don't know how many products Amazon sells right now. They sell millions of products. They're trying to double that number of products that they offer and sell by 2023. If they do that, that will require them to hire 600,000 people. What they're saying is that we're not going to hire that 600,000 people. We're going to automate the processes so we don't have to hire. So they're planning on having their hiring where it's on an uptick right now, just flatten out. It's not going to dip to where they're losing people. They're just trying to flatten that curve out. So they're going to ramp up hiring to a certain number and then flatten it out and let automation take over the scaling of the growth, right? So that's how I'm seeing it. This would mean that 75% of all Amazon operations would be done autonomously, and automation allows Amazon to grow without hiring more people, like I just mentioned. So that 600,000 number is over the course of the next 10 years, them growing, they would have to hire that many people to sustain the growth. The problem is, and one of the things that they learned, and probably the reason that they're trying to do this, is because they got caught kind of with their pants down during the pandemic, right? Everyone was at home. Everyone was ordering off of Amazon. They got bombarded, right? With everyone being home with money to spend, they got bombarded. So shipments started being late. They weren't as reliable as they once were. They couldn't get product quick enough and out quick enough. And a lot of this had to do with they didn't have the staff to handle the influx of orders. So they hired a ton of people. When they did that, they found themselves, okay, when everything kind of calmed down, we have too many people on staff, so we have to fire some people and kind of make our operations a little more efficient now that the pandemic is over. That's what I see from this. If you guys see anything different, let me know. I'm interested in all perspectives on this particular thing. Let's go to the chat. Robots with shirts. Yeah. Not just any shirts, okay? Those are working man shirts. Okay, if you know what working man's shirts look like, you know that's a working man's shirt right there. I've worn a few of those. All right, I've worn quite a few in my day. My coworker literally kicked a company out that I was thrilled to work with because she was afraid of losing her job. Ooh. Hey, listen, that's sometimes a thing. There was zero chance of her losing her job. Yeah, until now anyway. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, my thing is we've gone through this kind of thing, right? We've gone through this kind of thing where, I mean, if you think about it, we talked about calculators, right? Getting rid of some people who were doing the calculations. And my argument would be, well, those people were just running the calculators being more efficient, right? So there's always a counter argument to this thing when we talk about a particular process being automated, right? Like automating calculations. We're automating the manufacturing line. Now we're automating operations, right? So there's going to be some transition. There's going to be a transitional period, right? People may lose their jobs. I think it's just the nature of progress, in my opinion. I could be wrong about that. You guys let me know how you feel about it. But I definitely feel like this is just the nature of progress. Siri will rely on... What do we got here? Siri will rely on Gemini, says Bloomberg. So Mark Gurman from Bloomberg essentially put out another blog post where he says Apple is planning to roll out its revamped version of Siri around March of next year. The new version of Siri will apparently lean on Google's Gemini and include AI-powered web search features. Apple is said to be paying Google to create a custom Gemini-based model that can run on its private cloud computer servers to power Siri. Gurman clarifies that this doesn't mean Siri will include Google services or Gemini features. Instead, Siri will simply be powered by a Gemini model in the background, enabling it to deliver the features that users expect with a Apple user interface. So this is not Gemini features coming there or Gemini itself. This is just a Gemini-esque model using the model that Gemini uses to do some stuff on the back end for Apple. Apple is just so far behind. They're just doing what they got to do to keep up at this point. And I would argue that it's hard for me to say this about Apple because they're so huge and they've been huge for a long time. But man, when you miss the boat on something like this, like they had no in-house people for this, for AI. Like they had no in-house infrastructure for AI at all when AI hit. They literally got caught. How am I saying got caught with your pants down twice in the same podcast? But here we are. That's just crazy. It's hard to say Apple's going to have an uphill battle with AI and what does that mean for its hardware division. But that's how I'm feeling right now. I feel like AI is such transformational like technology. It's like if you didn't jump on the internet bandwagon when it first went out. You know what I'm saying? I guess a lot of people didn't do that and they were okay in the very end. But yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't feel good. I'm not used to seeing Apple in this position. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what's odd about this is that it's not a very tentative position for Apple to be in, and that gives me the willies a little bit. What do we got here in the chat? Problem is size and scope. The sector where AI will replace workers is back office, part of all industries, not just manufacturing during the industrial age. Good point. Good point. So AI will be even more transformational, right? But I guess the point I was trying to make is just that people were like, oh, the world is going to go to hell because, no, that didn't happen. I mean, we worked our way around the industrial age and manufacturing being automated. So I think we'll do that with this too. Like the president of NVIDIA said, You're not going to lose your job to AI. You're going to lose your job to someone who uses AI. God bless Tim Apple. Absolutely. This places a lot of workers with no answers on what they will do next. Well, I don't know. It will displace a lot of workers, but I think in my mind, people are like, this is how I see it. You're not I can't say that. I would say this, and this is how I genuinely feel. People are not at their best when they're doing a job that a robot could do. I don't know if that makes sense, right? I mean, if I've worked factory lines, okay? I've done it where they test you for dexterity just to see that you can do factory work, you know what I mean? I've been there, done that. So I know the struggles of like supply lines and like just manufacturing lines, right? I understand and know that all too well. People are not at their best when they're doing this. You can't even see my hand. I'm trying to illustrate this. If this is not a human being put to the best of their capability, and I don't care what your abilities are, if you're doing this all day, you're not being put to the best use. Now, that's not to say that everyone has the ability to get jobs where they aren't doing that. I get that, and I understand that too. Again, I have been there, so this is not a shot. This is a revelation of like, people are at their best doing something with their brain, right? A robot can do this all day, 24 hours a day, never need a break, never has mental issues, never needs to talk to someone because they had a fight with their boyfriend or girlfriend. Like, I mean, as a person, you have to understand the value in that, right? As someone who's trying to make money, not even trying to make money, just trying to make a product, I understand the value of having a robot arm do this for 24 hours versus having a human do that. A, the human's not being put to their best use, or they're not, exerting their best potential. B, this is going to be better for a robot to do. A robot arm can handle that quite fine. Better even, right? So I just feel like we find a way around this, right? Another case in point. I'm a firm believer. Let me get big for a second. Let me get big in here. I'm a firm believer in the fact that, like, this is how a lot of people in business used to see business. Like, the business paradigm has changed since what I'm about to say. It used to be in business. I need an eInk device to illustrate this. What should I use? Should I use the Manta? We'll use the Manta. We'll use the Manta to illustrate this. Matter of fact, I'm going to use the Manta and I'm going to use the Viwoods pen here before we talk about this. Okay, so this is how people in business used to see business and profits back in the day, like when people had horse and carriage. People saw it like this. Well, you got manufacturing. This pen writes very well, by the way. So let's say you got manufacturing down here. You got the manufacturing pie. Up here you have, let's just say, technology. And you got a pie up here for technology, right? This spring is a lot looser than the spring on the, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about it. It used to be in business, people thought like this. You have a pie. If you're in the manufacturing space, this is your pie. Now, if you cut it in half, it's you over here and your competition over here. You don't want your competition to start eating into your pie, right? So now your split is looking like that. You don't want that. So you start doing things to divide up the pie so that other people get less parts of the pie, but you keep a big portion of it. But the more people, the more pies. The lesser your piece of the pie is getting smaller with the added companies coming into your space, right? So that gets heated. The competition gets fierce when there's one pie for everybody to get. And then in the technology space, you got another pie, right? And everybody that enters the game, the pie, your slice of the pie just gets smaller and smaller and smaller, right? That's not really the case. We thought that about energy too. But every time we run out of an energy source and we are like, oh, we don't know what we're gonna do for energy. We don't have the energy to propel this. We find a new source. Coal and steam. Horsepower. Coal and steam. What else we got? Combustion after that. What do we got after that? Nuclear, right? Wind, solar, right? We find these extra sources of power and energy when we need them. Not just because we need them, we find them, right? But my point is, there's enough for everyone, and there's enough pieces in the pie for everyone, because in business today, this is the motto. Yeah, Well, oh my goodness. Okay. How did I go from having, okay, there we go. Today it's like, okay, this is technology. And yeah, that might be a technology pie over here, but there's also a technology pie over here. And there's also a pie over here. The thing is, in business today, every sector has multiple pies. So yeah, you can let somebody cut up the pie over here. But there's a pie over here that could be cut up too. So my point is, I guess, my very long drawn out point is, what point was I getting to here? Oh, my point is that there isn't one pie. There are multiple pies. The one pie thing is an illusion. There's always multiple pies. So in a market like, well, let me get to the thing down here. Oh my God, you guys, I lost where I was going with this analogy. Oh, it was so good. This pie analogy was so good. But to finish this thought, in a one pie scenario, yeah, only a few people can get a small piece of the pie. But in today's economy, in today's like environment, you can create your own pie, and you don't have to share it with anyone. You're getting all of it. You know what I mean? It's just people approach business in that way sometimes. Now, in this new way of approaching business, you don't have to like be cutthroat. You can just create your own little sector and have your own little pie just for you. And I think I was going down this pie analogy. I got lost in it. My bad, you guys. I think I got lost in the pie analogy because I'm talking about the AI and Apple having to rely on Gemini, whereas it didn't seem like that was going to be the case all the time, to where you would have this one little pie that people are trying to get a piece of. But in the AI sector, it's the new business model. Everybody has a pie to get a piece of. It's not just one big pie that everyone's trying to get a slice of, I guess is the point I was trying to make. It'll hit me in like 30 seconds why I went down that road. Just stay with me. Let's go to the chat. 5 robots per person. Huge. So healthcare is now obtainable for humans or the corporate. Well, I think... Oh, all right. No, we were talking about jobs. My bad. We were talking about AI and Apple. We were more so talking about the job. So my pie analogy was for the Amazon job market. And thanks for putting me back on track, because his comment gave me insight to what I was saying. So basically, what road I was going down with the pie analogy is that people will find a way to get jobs. Jobs will be there. It might not be the job that they had before, right? It may not be the job that they were doing this number here, right? It may not be that particular job to where they're doing this, that job may be gone and may be more suited for a robot, like I was saying, right? But there will be another job that particular technology presents to someone who can do it, right? Maybe an overseer of all of that work, right? Maybe a checker of all of that work. Maybe someone who services the bots, right? Maybe someone who just makes sure that they're on track. There's lots of things that can be done, right? And I guess my pie analogy was just saying that there's going to be work for these people who are losing their jobs, turning knobs. They'll get jobs doing other things that this sector is opening up for them. Whew! BM, thank you for saving me. Thank you for saving me. Holy cow, I got lost in that one. All right, let's go to some more chats. Our problem is with size and scope is that a lot of people are in trouble until it's sorted out. And it's not like the U.S. Focuses on education anymore. No, you're right. And it's not like this country has really good safety nets for people either. So I totally get your point, Duroc. And not to say that society doesn't adapt. Horseshoers transferred to other things when auto came along. Exactly. Or accounts payable scanning and reviewing invoices. As AI replaces this with OCR, what does the AP department do? Right. Well, those people are going to have to find jobs, right? But I think my point is that the pie, just like the pie scenario, yeah, they may be switching pies. There isn't one big. So in this scenario, there isn't. Let me go back to the pies. So in this scenario, it's not. So this is what they were, right? AP. It's one pie and one set of skills that you can exploit in this pie, right? But they could just move over to this pie. You know what I mean? They're not AP anymore. They're whatever this is, but this pie hasn't been cut up yet, so there's more to do over here. I think that is how this plays out. These technologies open the way for other jobs, less mundane jobs that humans are more fitted for. There we go, chat. That's the point I'm trying. 360. Okay, 360. I think AI taking away these mundane jobs that no one wants to do anyway, that people do, and there's such high turnaround because people burn out from doing them. These people are more suited for other jobs that require their more unique skill set and their brain power, right? Let the dumb robotic arm do the knob turning because it's better suited to that. Let these people go to jobs that they're more suited for, right? Case in point, when we look at and think about the pandemic, right? The pandemic led to so many people going back to school, getting educated, right? They were like, hey, I got some time. I don't have a job right now. People who felt undervalued in their job, and I saw this happen so much during the pandemic. People who felt undervalued in their current job, used that opportunity because workers were in such high demand during the pandemic that people had their choice of jobs. So I know one guy went from factory work, shopped himself around to find a better job because he just was stuck in a factory job just because he was, not because he wasn't qualified to do anything else, but because he had been there for a long time. He was making tons of money, but he was like, you know what? I could be doing something that's more fulfilling. And he went and did that. He went, got him a business degree. I'm just like, things like this, I think, end up for the better, because especially when it's, something as mundane as factory work, right? You give factory workers an opportunity to do something better than factory work, I know they're going to take it. I'm 100% positive about that. Again, I've been there. I know the mindset and mentality. So yes, I think that would be the case. So what is that job that is better for people that were packing Amazon? If it's hard to ID immediately, imagine how scary it is for someone that depends on that for a paycheck. Well, I don't know the answer to that, The Rock. I really don't. I have no answers for that. I can only say that I know that when forced with these kind of situations, people have always figured it out. Like we've always figured it out. Like this isn't the first time a revolution in work and how work is done has happened. We've gone through this a number of times in the past, and every time we've been okay. And I think in every time it's been for the better. I could be wrong. I guess the future will tell. But just speaking off history here. Just speaking off history. What else we got here? I think that's all of the tech news. Yeah, let's get on to the eInk news, shall we? All right, so eInk news. Basically, we got a couple of NA5C videos to talk about. The Viwoods C1 ceramic stylus, which we just talked about here a second ago, and I'll get into my impressions on that. Supernote stylus line quality. We're also going to talk about that. So let's get right into it. First thing we got up is going to be Jeff's video, right? We got Jeff's video here where he's talking about the Note Air 5C and his thoughts on this particular device. Now, Jeff does awesome. Oh, this wasn't the. Oh my God, this wasn't the one. Oh, my bad, you guys. We gotta find Jeff's verdict. Oh, where's Jeff's verdict? There we go. Okay, there we go. All right. So I love Jeff's videos because he does such excellent battery work, right? I mean, he keeps track of all the data from the battery tests that he's done, and I really do appreciate that. And it's super helpful. If you haven't seen Jeff's video on the Note Air 5C, definitely check it out. Link in the description. But in this video, he brings up a few points here that I'm going to talk about. I thought that after watching this, that most of the cons or most of the pros that Jeff brought up were software related. In fact, a lot of the big things that he talked about and liked were software related things. The same software you can get on the Note Air 4C. So that didn't really move me that much. A lot of the cons, the major cons he had, because he has some major and minor cons. Most of the major cons were about the hardware. So yeah, the Note Air 5C, and I think he even qualifies at the end that if you got the 3C or the 4C, it's probably not a significant upgrade for you. I think if you got the 3C, it might be a significant upgrade for you, but definitely not the 4C. Definitely not the 4C. I love Jeff's description on the software differences. He did a really good job going over the software and the software differences there. I really do like that. So definitely check this video out if you haven't seen it. No light bleed. He didn't show that. So I don't, Jeff, you my guy, okay? You my guy, Jeff. No disrespect, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that there's no light bleed. I don't believe that for two reasons. One, it's Onyx. I just don't trust them to do a really detail-oriented job on anything. But second thing, it's the same hardware. It's like legit the same case, same dimensions, everything. So nothing tells me that they fixed the light bleed in this. Until I see it fixed, I wasn't even going to buy this. I'm not going to buy this to prove that it has light bleed. I really do want someone to go into a dark room with their Note Air 5C, have the lights off, have the Note Air 5C on with the front light on, and then turn the device straight to the side and tell me if you see light bleed coming from the screen. I want to know. Every Note Air device I've had has that problem. They didn't fix it on the 3C from the 4 to the 4C, and I doubt they fixed it from the 4C to the 5C, considering it's the same freaking design. So no light bleed, I don't know. I don't know, Jeff. I want to see it, bro. I want to see that. I would have loved to have seen that. But yeah, so that's Jeff's video. Definitely go check out Jeff's video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. He does awesome work, especially if you like eInk devices and getting into the details about how they run and getting some very good use case videos as well. Next thing we got, Voja has a Note Air 5C video up as well. Very good video from Voja as well. Some takeaways I got from this video. Some takeaways I got from this video. Oh, whoa, yeah, would be Pen is better than the landfill trash they usually ship their devices with. So no problems there. It's still trash though. It's just they've upgraded it from landfill trash to now it's just recycle bin trash. But you still throw it in the trash, okay? You get it and you immediately throw it in the trash can and get you something worth having. Especially if you got the Note Air. You spend $500 on a Note Air 5C, go get you something that's worth $500 worth of writing on. You know what I mean? Don't throw recycle bin trash on your $500 machine, okay? Go get something that's better, okay? And by all intents and by all accounts, this is not better. Bad pen placement. I've been saying this for years. Why does Onyx have like magnetic pins? They don't stay on the device. It's the magnets are so weak. I could blow on it and it'll come off. So like, what's the point of having magnets there that they don't work? Like, that's just you're charging me for something that you're not giving me, essentially. Not only that, this piece of recycle bin trash, it interferes with the button on the device. Can we get that? Can we? Oh, yeah, there we go. It interferes with the button on the device. It's just they don't think about things. The details are lost. They have a designer that says, I have a new design here. It's really not new. It's old. I just added some buttons and pogo pins, but it's new. We got a new pen too, even though it's about as trash. It doesn't feel as trash. And they don't have those lines on there, which I appreciate. The clip is trash though, by all accounts. All right, hold on. This is the second company who's updated their stylus in the last month or two. And the update is not an update. Like, you took time to redesign it and that's what you came up with? How long did you take? 30 seconds? They paid a giraffe to make the mock-up? What are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
Oh, you can't use ceramic on that. It'll damage it. And you can only do it on Supernote because they have the stuff. Shut up.
What are we doing here? Why does this pen exist? Aaron, when is your pen coming out, bro? Save us. Because everyone's making new pens that are worse than the originals. Or as bad. I would never come out with an update that's not updated. I don't know. What do I know? What do I know, chat? Moving on. Interferes with buttons. Magnets are not aligned properly. It's just okay. That's my takeaway from this video. All right. I got pen takeaways from here. Okay. That's it. Pen takeaways. Good video. Go check it out, you guys. If you want some good info on the Note Air 5C. Again, another reviewer. It's good, but is it worth the update? I don't think so. Okay, so but definitely go check it out. Voja's got a really good video. Link to this video is in the description of this video. Go check it out. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. All right, what else we got here? I think the last thing I want to talk about, there's Viwoods C1 ceramic stylus. All right, so let's go ahead and get into that, you guys. Actually, let's get to the chat first before we dive into that. Gives me no hope for their keyboard case. No, I guess you're right on that, Dr. Ling. I would not have said that before my hate for the pen started erupting. But now that I'm seeing how trash this pen is, yeah, I might agree with you on that too. Supernote has solved the file sync system. Have they? I like that. Why do you say that, BM? I wonder if the pen sits better upside down. That is a good thought, Dr. Ling, that I haven't seen anyone explore. Good point. That might work better, actually. Even though ask for the volume buttons too. Yeah. It's just, page turn volume buttons, whatever you want to do with them. But the point is, they got the buttons there and they don't know what to do with the pen now. Bad design. Bad design. Just bad design. So here we go. The Viwoods C1 pin. Let's get down here, shall we? Oh. All right, so let me just put this back in here like this. This is how the pin comes when you open it. Here. Again, I like the packaging of the box. The packaging is really nice. I really do like it. It's the same thing. It's the same one as their W2, as you can see here. They didn't even bother swapping out the box. They were just like, listen, you get the Ceramicnib. It's a W2 pin. It's called the C1, but we're sending it to you in the W2 box. Get over it. Anyway, we got it here. Shout out to Aaron too for this, for sending me this. This came from Aaron, one of the chat crew here and YouTuber at 2530 Media. Go check him out. No link in the description. My bad, Aaron. I got you next time though, bro. We need to hear about this new tablet. I got some news about this tablet too. Matter of fact, we're gonna talk about the tablet. I forgot to put that on the show notes, but we're gonna talk about that, Aaron. But let's go ahead and look at this this pin here. So, a couple things I noticed about this pin. Let's go ahead and delete this. A couple things I noticed about this pin here. I really do like it. Okay. So at first I got it and I was like, this is trash. I don't like it. But then I remembered someone talked about the length added to the balance of the pin. So then I started thinking, I was like, okay, let me see what the balance is like. Let me hold it where I would normally hold it. Let me see. Okay, like this. Okay, balance not bad. It didn't fall backwards. It didn't slide off the thing. That's how I check balance. I hold the pin I would normally hold it. I let it go. If it stays in my hand, the balance is there. You see that? The balance is supreme on this pin. I really do like the balance. They nailed the balance. Now, same with the Kaweco here. This balance works with everything. So you take your hand off, it sits there. Take your hand off. Oh, there we go. This is not as balanced. This right here is better balanced than the Kaweco. Because when I'm grabbing the Kaweco where I would normally write and hold it at, I let go and it's still in my hand. It's not as balanced as this pin. But you know what is as balanced? This pin right here. So this is the Vista. What is it? The Vista. What do they call it? The Vista something. I forgot exactly, but you guys know what pin this is. But anyway, putting this on the back here. Holding like I would normally hold it writing, and then let it go. Oh, this is not even as balanced. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, not bad. Okay, there we go. Not bad. Okay, the balance is good on this one. Bam, bam, bam. Let go. Okay, good balance. All right, balance is good on this. This not bad, but not perfect. Okay. The Lamy, really very good balance as well. So I'm holding like I would normally hold it. Let it go. Good to go. Grab it. Let it go. Good to go. Oh, there we go. So very good balance on the Lamy right here. Supremely good balance on the Viwoods. So I will give them that. So that added length they put on these new pins, I will give them their props for that. It added some balance. I thought while we're elongating the pin, it adds to the balance. So if that's what they were going for, kudos to them. They did a really good job of balancing this thing out. Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. All right. So nicely balanced. Very nicely balanced. Another thing I noticed about this stylus right here is, let's go ahead and look at the tip here. Can we see the tip? Oh, you guys can't. Let me zoom down. Can we? Oh boy. Oh yeah, we can see it better. Okay, so this tip right here is a very fine tip. It's finer than the Supernote tip. Now I'm gonna show you the tip on the Vista. The Supernote Vista. You can see, look at the tips on these. You can see here that the tip on the Supernote Vista pen is a lot thicker than the nib on the Viwoods. Now, the Viwoods nib is, I think, the same size as the Crystal nib. Matter of fact, it is the same size as the Crystal nib. Now, why would I bring that up? I did put this data out. We talked about the Crystal nib and why I made it the size I made it. It sounds like somebody is taking note of that stuff. Okay. All right. Moving on. All right. So, very, very thin. Now I wondered, initially I was like, why did they do that? But then I thought, well, why did I do it? Well, I know why I did it. And I'm assuming they did it for the same reason. It just gives it a more precise, more tactile feel. And on top of that, I'm a big 0.5 guy, not a 0.7 guy, 0.7, 0.5. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. We got the spring in here. So the spring that they took out of the W2 pin, they have it in this one, okay? Which would probably make sense of why they took it out of the other one. Yeah, they added it to this one, so they were like, well, we don't need it in both. We only going to put it in the ceramic pin, and that's what they did. So kudos to them for that. So it's got the springy action here. Now this spring action right here, the spring action you see on this nib right here, is a lot. It takes a lot less pressure to actuate that than it does the Supernote one. You really got to push down on this Supernote pin to get that spring to actuate there. To get any spring action, you got to press pretty hard. Not so with the Viwoods. Like in the Viwoods when I'm writing, I could feel the spring moving, right? I can feel the spring giving me some cushion. With the Supernote pen when I'm writing, the spring never, ever depresses. That's how stiff it is. And I'm okay with that because I don't want the spring to depress every time I'm writing with it. I just need it to depress if I'm starting to write too hard just to give me some relief, and the pressure won't go all the way to the device. Because if you don't have that spring, all the pressure you're putting on a hard ceramic nib is being transferred to the screen, right? And that's why the spring is there to kind of absorb some of that pressure. In my opinion, though, this is just too soft. It's not bad by any means. I'm not saying it's bad. I would just rather it be how Supernote does it on their pins with the spring being super stiff. What else we got here? Oh, the Supernote. Oh, the gestures. Oh, you got to love it. I got to bring out the gesture hammer again. It's time for the gesture hammer. All right. So what else we got here? I got some notes here. Let's look at them real quick. Oh, let's get out of that. Oh, if I can get... There we go. Okay. All right. What else we got here? I wanted to take it out to see, but I didn't take it. I wanted to take this thing out just to measure it to see if it was the same as the crystal nibs as far as the length goes. I know the radius is the same, but I don't know that the length of it is the same. And that's what I wanted to check there. Might be able to just throw some of those in here. What do we got here? The balance is great. I think we talked about that already as well. Not for nothing, but the only stylus that comes with a button and a ceramic nib. So that's, I mean, you can't knock that. I mean, we've been talking about in the eInk space a pen that has a ceramic tip and has a button for a long time, which led to me retrofitting the Lamy. So this is the only pen that you're gonna get ceramic nib and a button on if you, for eInk stylus anyway, unless whoa, oh, what did I do? Unless you go to this site right here. Now, if you go to this site, oh boy, oh, there we go. If you go to this site and you click on modified ceramic nib Lamy, then you will find the second pen on the market that you can get with a ceramic nib, and it has like the button. So you get the nib and you get the button. Golden. Gotta love it. Okay, moving on. What else we got here? So I like it. I really do like the C1. So let me just close this out by saying I really do like the C1. I like this pen a lot. It's got the button. It doesn't feel bad. Can we redo that? It has the button. It doesn't feel bad. It has a spring in here. Got the ceramic. The ceramic feels good. It's a thinner ceramic, so it's even more, you feel like it's even more precise. I'm not going to hold you, which is, like I said, one of the reasons I made mine the size that I did, and so it can fit into these sleeves. But that's a whole other story. I like the way that it writes. It writes really well. The only other pen on the market that has the same kind of programming as the Supernote pen. Because as you can see, this pen, the C1 and the Supernote pen write very similarly. They don't have that squiggly problem that you get from most. Can we get down here? They don't have that problem you get when a non-Supernote pen writes on the Supernote. Let me give you an example. So this is the Ceramicnib Lamy right here. Okay, this is the Ceramicnib Lamy, and I'm just going to write the same thing here. Okay, so you can see here that no matter like what pen you're using, I'm going to also use the Kaweco as well to write the same thing. We've got the Ceramicnib and the Kaweco, but the Kaweco does a little better job. Let's see here. Okay, so we got the Kaweco right here, and this for this right here, it's darker than the Lamy, but you can see the jitteries in the line quality is there. And that's because no matter what pen you use with the Supernote, if it's not a Supernote pen, they use a different brand of EMR, which let's go ahead and talk about that now as well. So there's different brands of EMR. It used to be that Wacom was the de facto manufacturer of EMR technology, electromagnetic resonance technology. After their patent wore off, I think they had a 15-year patent on this. After that wore off, or ended, expired, other companies were allowed to use the EMR technology and make their own EMR technology, right? Based off what Wacom had done. When that happened, other companies started making their own brands of EMR, like programming their pens how they want them to. And EMR pens are programmable to write a certain way. They have characteristics, right? Different EMR pens have different characteristics, right? Supernote pens have this characteristic that they write really, really darkly, right? As you can see, that holds over and holds true for the Viwoods C1 pen as well. Let's look at this. That holds true for the Viwoods C1 pen as well here. This pen writes just like a Supernote pen does. So whatever tech and programming Supernote is using for theirs, it's the same tech that Viwoods is using. And that's evident by how similar this looks. It's the only other pen that I've ever used that doesn't give you the jaggies when you're using it on a Supernote. And on top of that, Supernote is the only platform that I've ever come across where that's an issue. If I use the Kaweco on the Supernote, it writes differently than what a Supernote pen would write. But if I use this Kaweco on my Go 10.3, it looks the same as if I write on my my Viwoods. Looks the same as if I write on what else we got over here? Oh man, just another Boox product group. The NA5C, right? So all of these things appear the same, right? When I'm using this pen, except for when I'm writing on the Supernote. And I think if that's not widely known, that's a thing. Dr. Lane says the eraser too. Yeah. So the C1 has the eraser as well. I'm gonna do a actual video on this pen, so I have that coming out. I gotta edit it. But it also has an eraser, so it's literally the only ceramic that you're gonna get with a button and an eraser. Yeah. Thanks, Dr. Ling. I like EM thick. What does that mean? Thick tip. Oh. Manta and Nomad issue did them individual worked great. They both had the same. They both have the same issue when it comes to different pens. We need to hear about this new tablet. Oh, the new color tablet. We're going to talk about that in a second here. But yeah, so I really do like this pen. The balance is great. It writes great. The nib size is great. It gives you an alternative to the Supernote nib size, right? I just hate that it feels so cheap. That's my only thing about this. But there's no knock on this. I have no knock on this pen right here. It's all good with this pen. There's no negatives here for me. But being nitpicky, I just wish they had done a little more with it since it's so good. You know what I mean? I wish they had done some ergonomics to it. Yeah, I don't know. Made it a little more premium, maybe. I don't know, man. I just wish that they had done more to this instead of it being just a W2 pen with a ceramic tip. You know what I mean? There was an opportunity here to do something great, and I guess it still is, right? They can make it even more premium than one than this if they wanted to. Very good stuff, though. All right, what else we got here? Supernote line quality. I think we just kind of talked about the Supernote line quality and the C1 in the same segment there. And I also explained why it's different, why it looks different, because the Supernote programming and the EMR they're using is different from a lot of people's EMR. But seemingly the EMR and the programming for the pen is the same coming from Viwoods and Supernote, which is super interesting. Super interesting. What else we got here? I think that's it. That was it. Man. We did go over, well, it was an hour show. That wasn't too bad at all. Let's go to the chat here before we get out of here. Oh, this new tablet, my bad. Oh, you know what, Aaron, my bad. We'll save the tablet for tomorrow. My bad, Aaron, because I do have some information I got this morning about the tablet, and I was trying to parse it before the show and just couldn't. So what I'll do is I'll look over that, get that information, get the added information they sent me this morning, and kind of parse that and put it together. Because it sounded like they were telling me I could talk about it, but at the same time, they were saying, you can talk about it, don't open the package we sent you, though. So I'm confused. I'm going to have to parse that and find out what exactly all this means, and we'll talk about it tomorrow, Aaron. So my bad, you guys. I didn't put that on the show notes, so not a real big bummer, but I will talk about the new color eInk device coming to the market. I will talk about that tomorrow when I've had a chance to read through this email. All right, thanks you guys for being here. This is Ben's About Tech Live. We do this Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to kind of whenever. Hopefully, usually an hour, and hopefully we do go an hour. And today I think we did do an hour. We talk about eInk, we talk about tech news, talk about all kind of random stuff as well. And if you like that kind of stuff, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Discord link in the description of the show. I think that's it. No teasing. I totally forgot about that for today. My bad. But sometimes a teaser isn't that bad. Sometimes a teaser is okay. All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you guys. I will see you all tomorrow, and we will talk about that color device. All right, you guys. Peace.